welcome Highlight Harrison. We're here today. I'm Barney with the Greater Harrison Chamber, and here's Jerry with Jonas Memorial. And Jerry, how'd your business get started, and what all you got going on here?
Well, we started the business, my wife and I, in 1984. I think the winter of '84, kind of the spring of '84, and basically. I saw a need in the Harrison area. I was working for another firm, and different company, and kind of got them involved in the engraving business, and some promises were made with the company that I'd worked for, and didn't really come to a point that I knew that this was something I was going to have to do on my own. So. In the meantime, I had went to a school up in Vermont, Barre, Vermont, which is kind of like the granite capital of the world. That's where a lot of the stone artisans from Italy and from Scotland settled into that area. In Vermont was one of the first granite quarries in the United States.
Wow.
So these sculptors and granite artisans settled in there and started quarrying the stones, which you'll see some of the photographs, on the walls are photographs of these artisans working on the stone. And most of that work was all done by hand. Stones were drug up by horses, cables. You didn't have the hydraulic equipment to lift these multi-ton blocks of granite up out of the ground. So it was interesting to go up to the quarry and learn the trade from a trade school, kind of like a vocational school, and they had an adult program the apprenticeship program to learn the stone trades. So that's where I went to learn how to do this. Came back and still kept picking up a lot of this information and craft as I started working, learning things as on the fly. So,
well, I can see by looking around.
Yeah,
you've got some beautiful works here, and again on the walls, I've seen where you've done a lot all the way to New York.
Yeah,
absolutely amazing out of West Harrison, where you've gotten monuments in New York.
Right. We did a police memorial for the police officer that died in the tower collapse of 9/11. We actually were contracted through another company as a subcontractor to create this monument for the police officers that died in 9/11. And it was delivered to the police headquarters at One Police Plaza in New York City, which was a couple of blocks from Ground Zero.
Oh, wow.
And this was the... September 11th was when it happened. So we were there mid-December, right before Christmas, to deliver this monument. At the end of the year, Rudy Giuliani and Bernard Carrick were two of the main. Bernard Carrick was the police chief, and Rudy Giuliani was the mayor. So they wanted this monument in place at One Police Plaza before their term was over. So it was quite a rush to deal with a manufacturer, to get all the lettering, the inscriptions, the names, the dates, and get this done within a short window from September to December. It wasn't a lot of time. So myself and one of my employees worked probably 12, 14-hour days to get the thing done, and loaded it on a truck, drove it to New York City to install it. So, and this was the site was still smoldering at the time when we the Lincoln Tunnel, everything downtown Lower Manhattan was shut down. So we pulled into the staging area for the Lincoln Tunnel. Every car was checked. Dogs went through for explosives, went through the tunnel, and then to another staging area before you get to downtown. Same thing, going through all your vehicle, the dogs, sniffing dogs, bomb sniffing dogs. And we backed up to the police headquarters and installed the monument. Worked went right in Police Plaza. So the comings and goings of the cops, everything was still raw and fresh. It was pretty crazy. And a couple of people stopped by and, were watching and talking about some of the names of the individuals that were engraved on the monument. I think there were 23 or 27 police officers, I can't remember the number for sure, that died. And he said, this guy right here, he pointed to his name, and he said he had retired that morning. Came in, signed his retirement papers, was hanging around with some of the guys, and the first plane hit, nobody really knew what was going on. He said it was just chaos. And they, after, he said, I'm going down to help him out. So he went down and never came back.
Wow.
So
you've got some monuments around. I've even noticed some in Aurora, Indiana, Risings. I mean, you're about everywhere.
Yeah, we've got probably a good 60, 70 mile radius of places. Been Tennessee, Kentucky, Iowa, Wisconsin, Minnesota.
I probably never thought you'd be in all those
Dakota.
places when you started this.
No,
did you?
we didn't.
That's
but,
awesome.
So it's there's quite a range of we'll deliver anything anywhere for anybody. So it's not a problem to do that. It just takes a little more time and gas to get where we're going. So.
Well, that's awesome. Well, what would really shock people about what goes on in your line of work that they may not even think that would go on here?
Well, it's to see the product come out of the ground, to see this raw block, and to see what it turns into from this piece of stone to be sawed up. I mean, a lot of people are more familiar with granite now with countertops, with installations of stone, the permanence of it. Where you go into the cemetery, you see something sitting there already completed. To see the steps that it takes to get that stone, the equipment, to pull it out of the ground, to saw it up, to polish it, to cut it, to shape it. It's a pretty incredible process, and it's always, even I've been to several quarries and several plants that make the stuff, but it's always really neat to still go and see that. It's pretty amazing to watch the stone being manufactured.
Well, yeah, just to look at some of them here, you can see the rough cut and the fine cut. There's definitely got to be a lot of work involved.
And the permanence of the stone is, it's just unrivaled. There's nothing you can do as far as matching and the durability of stone and the eternity of it it's really pretty neat. And that's one of the nice things about doing this work is being able to see your work, hundreds of years down the road. It's going to be there. It's the most permanent purchase that someone's ever going to make. You're going to buy several houses and vehicles in a lifetime. How many people you come buying? This is my third or fourth car that I bought from you, and but most of the time it's just one monument. So you want to make sure that you do it and do it right the way people want it, and that it exceeds their expectations when it's up and in the cemetery, and that's really important to us.
It's definitely awesome. Like I said, you walk in here and you walk around and you look, and even all of this stuff on the walls, what you've been through with your family and how the businesses grew, and you talked about New York. You have the articles all down here on the wall, so you definitely want to stop in, check the Jonas Memorial Arts out without a doubt. There's a story here that goes a lot deeper than just the monuments that he's making.
Yeah, and the community's always been supportive. Harrison's been a great town to raise your kids and have a business. It's can't say enough about the area. It's my mom's family was from here, and my father's family, so we do have roots here. But with the Rolfeses and the Jonases, there's a lot of them in the greater Harrison area still to this day. So it's and Harrison's been a good supportive community, and it's a great town. Good, close enough to Cincinnati, but yet far enough away where you got the best of both worlds here. We got the country and The city's right down the
Got
street.
a piece of all of it right here
Yeah.
in Harrison.
Yeah.
So that, again, stop in, check out Jonas Memorial Arts. Definitely an education for me today. It's definitely been an eye-opener. So stop in, check the place out. Thanks for joining us at the Highlight of Harrison, and we'll see you next month.